The Crew 2 Easter eggs. Yo, it's not Easter Sunday, that is long gone, but we still got Easter eggs in the building, yo. Yes, I'm gonna use this video just to showcase the first 2 Easter eggs that have been brought to my attention, as well as discussing the truth about the Crew 2's damage model, along with showcasing some fantastic pictures taken from the Douchebag Squad Discord community, my boys. So first things first, we're gonna start off with the 2 Easter eggs, because that is probably the reason as to why you clicked this video. Now the first one, as you can see, is quite obvious in what it's referencing. As you can see by the big symbol in the middle, that is the Assassin's Creed logo. Assassin's Creed, another part of the Ubisoft arm, another part of the Ubisoft umbrella franchise, and they've obviously produced a love letter to the series by implementing it into the game by way of an Easter egg. Now the second one, I have absolutely no idea what it's referencing or where it's from. It just simply says the word help. Here's the thing, I need help. I need help in understanding where this is from, what it's referencing to, what it's pointing towards, because I have absolutely no idea. I don't have a Scooby-Doo. That's slang term for I don't have a clue. So if you guys can let me know and educate me on this, I'm willing to pay anything up to nothing. So jot it down in the comments. Now shout out to the Spaceships 80s guy, because he's the person who actually brought these to my attention. He also took this nice looking shot of a Mustang, as you can see, a nice blurred backdrop with a lovely looking sunset in the background. Clean and simple, I like that a lot. He also decided to venture upon some wildlife hunting, and as you can see, he stumbled across this. This is a bear, looks like a big male that's looking to probably mate with his car or something stupid like that. But as always, the crew is scattered with all sorts of wildlife, so I'm looking forward to see some of those. Thank you very much, sir. Now, this last picture was taken by an idiot known as BOURNE15, me. And as you can see, it's a busted up Nissan R34 Skyline. Now, I have seen videos going around talking about how the damage model in the Crew 2 is non-existent, talking about how it's been downgraded. I've seen videos where people have said that all you get is scratches on your car and nothing else. So then explain this. I can explain it, and I will. The whole purpose of a beta is not to give you guys just free time to play the game. It's a technical test. It's testing the game in what's called a controlled environment amongst a small scale of people to fix bugs and to try and implement certain features and see how those features work in as close to a real environment as possible. During the first 2 or 3 days of the beta, I realized that when I was actually having collisions with other cars and crashing into walls, yes, there were certain instances where the actual car I was driving was only getting scratched. It wasn't having any form of physical damage other than paint scratches and nothing more than that. When I turned the game on Sunday morning, so this was Sunday, okay, I noticed something had changed. First and foremost, I noticed an extra car had been added into the game. The Jeep Wrangler was added to the streetcar list. But most importantly and most noticeably, when I was taking the Skyline out for a little bit of a drifting session and I accidentally crashed at the airport, I realized there was significantly more damage to my car than there was when I was playing the game on the Wednesday, I think it was. Was it the Wednesday when the beta came out? I can't remember. Nevertheless, the damage model seemed to have been implemented at some point between Saturday and Sunday. And as you can see from the screenshots, we've got smashed and broken window. We've got completely deformed splitter. We've got a broken hood with an exposed engine. We've got inner scrapings and damage to the inner wheel arches. The problem that you've got now is that you've got videos out there that have got hundreds and thousands of views of people who have obviously, through no fault of their own, taken those videos as gospel. From content creators who maybe don't have a full understanding of what a beta is. We should not be doing graphical comparisons on beta and pushing that as final release material. It just makes no sense whatsoever, because the whole purpose of a beta is to test. You're supposed to take features away and see how the game runs. You're supposed to add extra features and see if the game is stable so that you can better optimize the final product. That is the whole purpose of a beta. It is an unfinished, unfinalized experimental build to test what's possible across a larger scope of players and systems and setups and configurations. Performance levels are supposed to fluctuate and go up and down during this test phase. Now, I do have one other theory about how this damage model works. If it's not the case, if I'm wrong, if they didn't just turn it on the Sunday, it could be that they've only got the permission to have certain cars have this level of damage, because admittedly, the first car that I was driving when I was monitoring the actual whole damage model was an Audi TT. This is obviously a Nissan. And those of us who have been playing racing games or open world action racing games for years and years and years will know that Nissan are a much more lenient company, a much more welcoming and friendly company when it comes to things like modifications, damage, etc. than the big German manufacturers. So it could be that. I hope that's not the case though, because then you're just going to have a completely inconsistent damage model. But that's the one area which I need to have answers to. But nevertheless, I hope this clears things up. I hope this sheds light on what the real situation with damage is in the Crew 2. As you can see, there is a proper physical breakable damage structure implemented into the game. If you see people commenting in places that there isn't, please direct them to this video and show them the actual timestamp, and then they can see it for themselves. And just to further emphasize my point, because I know there is still going to be people that refuse this and say that I've somehow magically made this photo with the use of fairy dust and pixie magic. The true answer to this query was staring all of you in the face for a long time. This is actually one of the shots from one of the trailers for the Crew 2. Look at what this developer is doing. What is he doing? He's making a damage model. I don't understand. Look. So for now, let's put a stop to that, yeah? Cool, brilliant. Next up, we got G-Zilla in the building. What you know about that GTR life, son? What you know about that Nissan GTR Raindrop life, son? It's sharp, it's crisp, it's just all things to all men. What is there to not like about this picture? Absolutely nothing. Great effort, son. Good job. Sticking with G-Zilla. What do you know about that rotary engine life, son? What do you know about that rotary RX? Listen, twin RX-7s at sunset. Rear view shots, looking sexy, looking sleek, looking simple, looking smart. We rocks with that. I rocks with that, and you should rocks with that too. The Zilla man also has an appreciation for planes, which is great to see. Great variation in his photography choices here. Once again, putting the sunset effect to good use, capturing it with really, really great effect, and also incorporating the use of a secondary vehicle as well, just to add that extra flair and populate the photo just a little bit more. Nice. Next up, we got DH Cinematics looking mean and clean in the Celine mother. Oh! This guy is obviously an expert in photography, as you can see. What I like most about this is that he's used a sort of focus blur effect, not just to work on the background, but also on the road surface as well. What that actually does is it actually makes the car, it makes the subject image pop out that little bit more, which means that you won't have to ruin the natural color by having to oversaturate. A lot of the time, people make the image pop out by oversaturating, but he's done it in a more natural way. Listen, I studied photography, so I see what you're doing there. Next up, we've got Luke N20. Now, I really like what this guy's done. Basically, he's taken another Ubisoft game, Driver San Francisco, I believe, and the main character Tanner, he's basically tried to replicate his Dodge Challenger. Now, as we all know, the Dodge Challenger is a classic muscle car. I can't remember which decade it's from. It's either the 60s or the 70s, probably late 60s if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, I think it's the 70s, 1970s. But nevertheless, I think this might be a bridge in San Francisco that he's on. If that is an actual bridge in San Francisco that he's gone to take this picture, you get extra points for effort. That is beautiful. I like the fact that he's also got this kind of greyish sort of blackish tint going around the actual image itself. It's almost like a smoky effect, making the picture feel more old, more classic, more retro. And once again, the subject matter in question, the car pops out more as it's the only asset which has any color. So good. I like that, man. Good stuff. Original. Next up, we've got Trash Master J. Now, what he's gone and done is taken a picture of one of the actual racetracks within the game itself. Can't remember which one this is exactly. I need to go back in the Discord chat to find out. But what I like is he's basically illustrated what I've been talking about all along before this game even went into your hands, which was the Crew 2 looks beautiful at night. The floodlights are beaming radiantly down onto the track, highlighting the rumble strips, the curbs, the apexes. It's just a good quality nighttime photo. He then followed it up with a shot of a Mustang in action on the track. Can't really see much detail within the car, but that's understandable given the fact it's a nighttime shot, but I do like the effect of rain we have on the camera lens. Alright, next up we got Rico in the building. Yes, hitting us with a nice and metallic looking blue Porsche 911 GT3 RS. I really do like the design of this car. Clean lines, black rims, simple, very unassuming, yet still managing to retain a level of striking personality. It looks to me as if he's using some sort of abrasion effect in the background there, almost giving it a sort of sharp stroke blurry setting. Brilliant. For the second picture, he utilizes the RX-7 in a sort of rural and countryside sort of environment. I'm not sure what part of America this is. It's actually very hard to tell because America has got lots of grassy areas, so not sure. I mean, is that down south somewhere? I mean, does one of you guys help me? Let me know in the comments what area and what location on the map that is most likely to be. Weather-wise, we're looking at a mildly overcast day with a little bit of sun. Looks like the middle of the afternoon with a decent looking blood red color on the RX-7 itself. Carbon hood, not too shabby, not too bad. Next up, we've got Brian. Now, what he's done is just taken a simple and plain photo. No special effects or anything like that. But the only reason why I'm actually showing this is because I do like how clean the design is on this R34 Skyline. Pure white. I've got a very soft spot for pure white cars. I do like the way they look. They just look elegant. They look classy. They look, well, clean, I guess. And that is none more so evident than in this picture here. So thank you for that, Brian. Much appreciated, sir. And last but not least, keeping on the subject of clean white cars, we've got Nero. Now, this guy, we could actually do a separate video for what he's created. First and foremost, we're going to start off with the Nissan GTR. As you can see, he's taken it in a beautiful mountain setting, snowy mountains, white backdrop with a white subject. I like the way how he's basically got the car off center, so it kind of gives the whole image a nice wide and dynamic feel. Really good use of camera angles there, fella. For the JDM fans out there, Nero's got you covered on that angle as well. Speaking of angles, the RX-7 in an iridescent paint scheme drifting. It looks like it's wall tapping. Is that a wall tap? It looks like he's just about to hit a wall tap there. Pretty certain Slap Train will be very, very proud of that. Just a tap. He's gone for a completely grayscale background, which seems to be blurred out a little bit, which allows us to focus more on the car itself, specifically the rims. Yes, the rims are black, but you can even see the iridescent paint scheme reflecting in the actual wheel arches and rims themselves. Great use of color. The second picture of the same car is also pretty nice because it gives us a look at the car from another angle. I like the way how he's got this sort of, is it Chinese writing? I'm not too sure. Japanese, Oriental, but he's got the Asian symbols going down the actual side of the picture. As mentioned, this car is of JDM heritage, so it's very fitting, very befitting indeed. He also managed to catch a nice cheeky little shot of him doing a stunt in one of the planes upside down. I think that might be one of the first, no, that's not a stunt mission. That looks like it's across the salt flats. Is that the salt flats where the drag races are done? Did you try to do a drag pool upside down in a plane? You're mad is what you are. But what we've done is we've saved his best work until last. Now, a lot of you may have seen these images floating around the internet over the past 48 to 72 hours. Nero is the gentleman who actually created the wraps for the Red Bull Formula 1 car. Now, those of you who don't know, and many of you won't, I am a Formula 1 super fan. Formula 1 is the first type of motorsport I was introduced to at the age of 8 years old by my granddad. I watch it every single Sunday without fail. Well, every other Sunday because it's on every other Sunday. And to see someone go out and I was literally saying to myself when playing this game the first time round that I hope somebody goes out there and designs multiple wraps for all of the different teams. And to see that someone has actually gone and done that, I feel like I am now living the dream. Now, I don't know how big Formula 1 is in the United States of America. I know for a fact that you guys watch IndyCar and NASCAR. Those are your two sort of main motoring classes of choice. But for those of you who don't know, Formula 1 is huge worldwide. If you go to Europe, Formula 1 is the #1 class of motoring. If you go to Australia, it's the same thing. If you go to South America, it's the same thing. Worldwide, globally, Formula 1 is seen as the #1 class of motor racing. And what I like is the fact that he hasn't just gone and done like the top teams like Ferrari and Mercedes. He's even incorporated the Renault team as well, which is very fitting because obviously we all know Ivory Tower speak French and we all know there's a Renault car in the game. So a Renault wrap is very, very befitting. But it's not just the wraps. It's not just the quality of the wraps. It's the quality of the photos that he's taken. The images. These images are good enough to be printed in a magazine. They're that good. Honestly, I'm blown away. I really am. I mean, it's a credit to Ivory Tower that these are the quality of shots. This is the level of photography that you can produce in game. I mean, it's amazing to think that. And you can bet your bottom dollar I will be doing a multiplayer event where we all use Formula 1 cars only. We're gonna recreate our own Formula 1 races in the game, yo. And I cannot wait. And there we have it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video. I hope I managed to clear up any queries you may have had about the damage model in the Crew 2. Also, help me out in understanding what that help Easter egg was about, and also let me know what your favorite picture was from my boys in my Discord. If you want to join the Discord, the link is going to be in the first comment pinned. I am going to be doing some multiplayer activity with my boys in the Discord and girls as well, so feel free to join, and be sure to check out the video I posted yesterday showcasing the beautiful sounds, engine sounds I should say, of all the hypercars in the Crew 2. Check it out. Going to be dropping the same for Japanese cars, bikes and supercars. Anyway, I will see you when the next video comes out. Take it easy, peace.